Ah, Mrs. Hudson. You'll find a large and ugly gentleman waiting outside our front door. Ask him to come up, please.
And if he won't, sir?
No violence, Mrs. Hudson. Don't be rough with him. Tell him that the Count wants him. He'll come.
Very good, sir.
You won't die in your bed, Mr. Holmes.
I've often had the same idea. Does it matter very much?
Well, let's find out.
Now, there's no point in that, my friend. You know perfectly well that you daren't use it. Nasty, noisy things, revolvers. Do you know it's getting quite dark? Time to turn on the lights. If you'll excuse my back for a moment. Ha! Electric lights, electric bells. The miracles of modern science.
You have nerve. I admire that.
And I admire a man who can burgle a safe and not leave a single trace. And so, incidentally, does my landlady.
How did you find me?
In future, don't let your hired hands pick up specialised slang from your boxing cronies. Ikey Saunders don't want to be a Barney all his life. Now, where else could he have learned that?
That led you to me? One bloody phrase?
No, Count, that's not the kind of language I expect from the aristocracy. Yes, that was the first link in the chain, and once I had it, all the others fell neatly into line. Ah, the fairy footsteps of your worthy partner.
Mr. Sam Merton?
Good evening, Sam. Rather dull in the street, wasn't it? Thank you, Mrs. Hudson. Oh, please, don't let the Count's little toy disturb you. Everything's under control.
If you say so, sir.
What is this? What's up, boss?
Ask him.
Good advice. To put it in a nutshell, Sam, I'd say it was all up.
Is he trying to be funny or what? I'm not in the mood.
I think I can promise you that you'll feel even less humorous as the evening progresses.
Enough jokes. Get to the point.
Yeah.
Very well. I'm prepared to offer you a deal.
What sort of deal? What do you mean?
First, put down the gun. Well, if you're not interested... Yeah, that's much better. Now, Count, I don't want you or Sam. I want the diamond.
What diamond?
Shut up.
Give me the Mazarin stone and you can go free so long as you behave yourselves in the future.
Are you being serious?
Completely.
How do I know I can trust you?
You have my word as a gentleman. Well, perhaps you'd like to talk it over. I'm going into my bedroom to run through the Hoffman Barcarolle. When I come back, I want your final answer.
How much does he know?
Quiet, you fool. Wait. Right. Now you can talk.
He's alone in there. Let me do him in.
We'd never get away. Besides, the woman's seen us.
She'd be no problem. Just say the word.
And will you kill everyone who sees us leave the house too? Stop trying to be clever. It doesn't suit you.
Oh, I don't like this room.
What?
Too many places for a copper to hide. What's behind here? Oh, God.
For God's sake, he's just a dummy.
I could see that. Took me by surprise, that's all. Yeah. God, it's a living spit of him. What's he want something like that for? It's not natural. You ask me, he's not all there. What do you reckon?
Oh, will you let me think?
Yeah, who's playing about?
Holmes! What's going on?
What's the matter with the lights?
Holmes!
Oh, stupid thing.
Keep still, you blundering off!
That's better. Oh, this is a bloody strange house.
The fearless fighter. Scared of the dark.
I am not. I wish I'd never heard of that damn diamond. It is safe, isn't it? You can't have got it without your knowing.
Of course not.
Are you sure?
For God's sake. I've got it on me now.
Well, show me.
What?
Show me. I want to see it.
Don't be stupid.
It's stupid, is it? Who was it found Ikey Saunders for you? Who was it kept watch at the house? I could have been nabbed easy while you was getting it.
Let go of me! Let go of me!
Show me the stone!
All right, all right! It's better. Now, here you are.
Good. I just wanted to see it.
What a coincidence, so did I. I suggest that not moving would be highly beneficial to your health. I believe I'll take that. Thank you, Count.
But what happened to the dummy? How did you get there?
He did it while the lights were out, of course.
Are you laughing at me?
No, my dear Sam, I'm not.
Good.
You seem to be in remarkable spirits for a man whose next address is going to be care of Scotland Yard.
It's almost worth it. You know, Holmes... Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I've been associating with people like Sam here for too long. I've forgotten what a pleasure it is to enjoy the company of an intelligent man. A most ingenious plan, worthy almost of myself. I congratulate you.
You're too kind.
And the music, a brilliant touch.
I thought so.
Look, all right, you've got me. It's a fair cop.
Thank you, Sam. Very gracious of you, if a touch unoriginal.
But that damn fiddle's getting on my nerves. Can't you tell him to stop, whoever he is?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Hey, well, why not?
Because, Sam, there's no one there.
Exactly. A remarkable invention, these modern gramophones.
Get your hands off me. The blood of the aristocracy flows in my veins.
Well, I beg your lordship's pardon, I'm sure. I do hope these aren't too tight for your delicate skin. Perhaps you'd like the doctor here to check. He'll live.
Mr. Holmes,
Your Excellency.
tell me something. Would you have kept to the deal? Would you really have let me go free if I given you the stone?
Mr. Holmes?
Well,
What do you think? Exactly.
Have you finished, Mr. Holmes?
For now.
Right. Put him with the other one, Mags.
do you know, Holmes? If our positions had been reversed, you could have trusted me too. Every bit as much. You have my word as a gentleman. Lead on, Max.
Fascinating man.
Well, I must see about things at the yard. Thank you for bringing me in at the kill, Mr. Holmes.
My pleasure, York.
It could have been a kill, quite literally. You took one hell of a risk.
It had to be done.
Sir,
Inspector.
about my theory, I'd be grateful if you could... Well, forget about it.
My dear Youll, it's well known that I never listen to the theories of anyone from Scotland Yard. I've no idea what you're talking about.
This is the most amazing contraption. Can you get any Gilbert and Sullivan, do you suppose? Sorry. Carry on.
Thank you. As I was saying, or trying to, the whole thing is thanks entirely to Mrs. Hudson.
Ah, it's good to hear you appreciating her for a change. I hope it lasts.
Fascinating, isn't it, that a chance remark could knock everything into place? I should have seen it straight away. I've had dealings with Ikey Saunders for years, and never once have I known him take an interest in the noble art of fisticuffs. A quick look at his room confirmed it.
And so you decided that he'd been hanging around a boxing gym for some other reason. All on the basis of a bit of slang. Strikes me as quite a long shot.
It was a perfectly logical deduction, and it was a key that unlocked my list of witnesses. One of the museum guards had run up crippling debts gambling on prize fights, debts which had miraculously disappeared.
Bribe money.
Exactly. And from there to the Count, it was just a matter of persuasive questioning and a lot of legwork.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. But you must admit, it was a long shot.
Watson, if you don't like it, you can leave it out of the story. Do what you usually do and make up something more lurid.
I wish this ridiculous fasting was only fiction. I tell you, one of these days you're going to push yourself to...
Ah, how splendidly appropriate. Saved by the Bell.
You expecting someone?
I certainly am. The irascible Lord Cantlemere.
I dare say you'd be irascible too if your whole career was at stake. And your play acting didn't exactly help. When did you send for him?
I arranged the appointment yesterday.
Yesterday? Don't you think that was just a little overconfident?
No. Besides, I had to solve his case for him to make up for all the time I had him as chief suspect. Excuse me.
You thought he was behind it?
Yes, until the boxing connection totally ruled him out. There are certain similarities between professional pugilists and politicians. His noble lordship has no links at all with that particular world.
Oh, I should think not. Holmes, what the devil are you doing?
Just clearing the stage for the final scene. Come in.
Lord Cantlemere, gentlemen.
Good evening, Lord Cantlemere. How do you do?
Holmes, Doctor.
My lord.
Come in, my lord. It's chilly for the time of year, don't you think, but rather warm indoors. May I take your coat?
No, thank you.
Oh, I insist. Sudden changes of temperature can be very damaging. Let me help you.
Enough, sir. I'm quite comfortable.
Ah, as your lordship pleases.
Now, how is your task progressing?
It's very difficult.
Holmes.
Every man finds his limitations, Mr. Holmes. It cures us of the weakness of self-satisfaction.
You see, I can undoubtedly frame a case against the actual thief.
Once you have caught them.
But how should we proceed against the receiver?
Isn't this rather premature?
Well, it's as well to have our plans ready, don't you agree, Doctor?
I certainly think we should be quite sure of what we're doing, yes.
Well, there you are. So, my lord, what would you regard as final evidence against the receiver?
The actual possession of the stone, of course.
In that case, my dear sir, I'm under the painful necessity of ordering your arrest.
Mr. Holmes, in 30 years of official life, I cannot recall such an insult. I'm a busy man, sir. I have the honour to wish you good evening.
One moment, my lord.
Get out of my path.
No, sir.
This is intolerable. Let me pass.
Put your right hand into the pocket of your overcoat.
What do you mean, sir?
Come on, do as I ask.
What possible purpose will be served by... What? What?
You know, that sense of humour is going to get you into real trouble one of these days. Suppose he died from the shock.
Well, at least you'd have been on hand to make out the certificate. Cause of death, finding £100,000 diamond in his pocket.
That is not very funny.
Come on, he gave as good as he got.
Yes, and more power to him. Mr. Holmes, your sense of humour is perverted, and its exhibition untimely in the extreme.
Well, almost as good as he got. No, but you didn't finish. I'm greatly your debtor, and I withdraw any reflection I have made against your amazing powers. I hope you've made a note of that for the story. Good, good. Now, do you have to rush off back to Hearth and Home?
I told Jean to expect me when she saw me.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're still master under your own roof.
You have a most peculiar idea of what marriage is all about. Why do you ask, anyway?
Because I find myself in urgent need of your assistance.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Well, then, I suppose I'm yours to command, as usual.
Excellent. Here are your orders. Ring the bell, summon the invaluable Mrs. Hudson, and ask her to send up dinner for two as soon as possible.
In The Mazarin Stone, Sherlock Holmes was played by Clive Merrison and Dr. Watson by Michael Williams, with Anthony Bate as Lord Cantlemere, Nigel Anthony as Count Silvius, and Joan Matheson as Mrs. Hudson. Inspector Yall was played by David Jarvis, Sergeant Peabody by Malcolm Ward, Sam by Lyndon Gregory, and Sanders by Peter Whitman. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The violinists were Leonard Friedman and Mari Campbell. The Mazarin Stone was dramatized for radio by Bert Coules and directed by Patrick Rayner.